Hi. So as you guys can see that there is a trigger warning at the very beginning of this slideshow. I will be talking about rape, sexual assault, and other touchy topics that you may not feel comfortable talking about. If you're uncomfortable with that, you are exempt from filling out my peer of all form, and you can just continue on with your day. Today we'll be talking about a topic that I personally, as a more feminine presenting person, believe is a giant topic that we should be talking about, and we should be teaching young children at a young age. What is that, you might ask? Well, today I'm going to be talking about why we should be changing the dress codes, specifically for feminine people, as well as we should be teaching boys and men to be respectful to starting at a very young age. So today I am going to be talking about why we should be teaching young boys as well as adolescent men how to be respectful. I'm going to be talking about the sexist dress codes, and then finally I'm going to mention the opposition. I put this at the end because, in my eyes, it is one of the stupidest oppositions that I've ever heard of in general. So starting off, females, you guys are probably going to understand this. Men, you might not understand it as much. You guys are probably going to exactly know what this is. Obviously, it's just keys between your knuckles, or between your fingers. However, men, I'm going to tell you this. If you see a woman walking alone on a street corner, or just in general at night with this in her hands, please leave her alone. It means that she is uncomfortable, very, very uncomfortable, and she does not feel safe. Now, I'm going to preface this by saying, yes, I do understand it is not all men, and men also get raped and sexually assaulted. However, you'll see later why I will be mentioning it, but not mentioning it as much. Next, these are just some of the objects that females carry around on their person at all times that are self-defense. Here's a couple more. So keep that in mind. We have all those, as well as those. People actually create these and put these on the market for females. People in general. However, females are most likely the ones that are going to buy it more often due to the fact that, well, you'll see. Obviously, what's next? Okay, this is an actual man tweeting about this. I know full well I will never harm or be a danger to a woman, but all men still applies to me because when it is dark, a woman walking by herself doesn't know me, and my male presence is still a reason for her to be anxious. That's the point. As you can see, that is a male posting about that. It is not a female posting about it, dressed up as a man. That is an actual man posting about this. So they understand that even though they are no danger, in the dark or in general, your male presence might actually be terrifying to us because we don't know who we can trust in the dark. Next, these are first some comments that can be classified as sexual harassment. Now, I personally, if you know the person, on a personal level, or you're just friends with them, this first one might seem a little weird. You smell nice. I know for a fact I've said this to my significant other, as well as a couple of my friends, but I knew them. However, if you're in a workplace and you're just talking to a person, it's gonna seem a little weird if you don't really know them that well. You should smile more. This is the most annoying thing that I have actually been told because it is just, if a person's not smiling, they might have been having a bad day. They might have not been able to want to smile at that point in time. This one is the one that gets me all the time. I personally haven't been told this. However, I do know that in general, lesbians are told this all the time. I can change that. Now, if you guys don't understand what that is referencing the fact that they are lesbians, or in general, just a person that is not attracted to the opposite gender. Not as somebody saying that to them, saying, hey, I can change the fact that you don't like men or you don't like women. This is a thing that comes from both sides, but it's most likely towards a lesbian from a man. Then, obviously, there is rape. And then, this is just there to symbolize that unsolicited down there pics are considered that as well. Now, obviously, you guys are probably looking at this and wondering, well, what is all considered rape? Or, not rape, sexual assault. Well, according to Marshall Center, Women's Center, it can be anything from rape all the way to just unsolicited down there pics, or just, as I stated, comments that aren't really the best. As well as, yes, there is such thing as marital rape. That can happen, and it has happened to other people. Now, that's the statistics. Now, Obviously, I mentioned earlier, there are going to be people that say men get raped too. Yes, I do understand that. However, it is 1 in every 71 men who get raped, and 1 in every 21 men are forced to penetrate somebody else without either consent. Now, I want you to think about 5 women in your life. 1 in every 5 women are raped or sexually assaulted in general. Think of 5 women in your life: your sister, your mother, your aunt, your cousin. One of them or more could have been raped or sexually assaulted in any way. Now, look at this picture. Just an innocent picture of a couple of girls walking down the street, right? Look at these 2 men. And if you guys cannot see that, 2 men. Little boy is staring down. Now, I don't know what exactly he's staring at, but in the general direction, it looks like he's staring towards the young women, who are in a little bit shorter dresses. And obviously, there's the man. The man's just looking down. Obviously, you can't really tell where they're looking because you don't really know. However, this is an actual picture from the 1960s. It was still happening back then. And it was probably even worse because we didn't know what to do back then. And we were just taught, as we grew older, that we should just be good to men and that we should be the perfect housewife. And there were many more. Now, this is a dress code. You guys can't really see it, but there are things that are highlighted. I am breaking 4 different dress codes right now. However, I don't like them. And I can explain which one is which. I just put that back in my thing. Yes, I did. I am breaking dress codes 2, 5, 7, and 9. Number 2 is no cleavage. I can't help that I have a bigger chest. Number 5 is no undergarments. You can see my bra strap. Oh no, that's not going to distract you. Number 7 is no bandanas. Mine personally is from my religion, so really they can't say anything because it would be against the freedom of religion. Then finally, number 9, no spaghetti straps. As you can see, I'm wearing spaghetti straps. Hence why I have the sweater. I've had the sweater on all day. I've only taken it off every now and then, especially in ceramics when I didn't want to get the sweater dirty. Now, obviously, everything that is highlighted up here is everything that is pointed towards females in general. And I have had not personal experience, but experience from my friends that have mentioned that men specifically can walk around in muscle tees, which it states right there in number 9 that muscle shirts are not allowed to be worn unless there is something covering your torsos. I have seen multiple men walking around wearing muscle tees and shirts that just, aren't that appropriate for school, and they get away with it. Whereas one of my friends specifically was wearing a crop top, got dress coded. How does that make sense? I can understand no midriff, but how exactly is that distracting? I think I have the opposition list. Yes, okay. Now we're going to talk about the opposition. I have had boys will be boys. If boys are mean to you, it means they like you. I've had both of those said to me as a young kid. The first one, that's a thing that needs to be stopped being said. Just because a boy is a boy does not mean what he is doing is right. Another one, if a boy is mean to you, it means they like you. What is that? Who in the world started that, and why is that even a thing? If a boy is mean to you, it does not mean he likes you. Maybe it might be in his brain, but if he likes you, he shouldn't be mean to you. He should just outright say it or be nice to you instead of being rude. Girls need to not distract boys. Okay, what about when boys walk around in gray sweatpants? Boys, you'll understand that. Girls, you'll understand that too. But my point with that one is, it's not our fault that boys can get distracted easily. We have our rights to be educated as well. There have been multiple girls who have been taken out of class or just in general just stripped of their own educations because they're not wearing something that is school appropriate. It's not our fault we can't find stuff. Have you looked at the stuff that's on the shelves nowadays? It's wanting us. Most places are wanting us to wear small clothing that's cut off right here underneath the chest. It's not our fault. Girls belong in the kitchen. That's another thing that is constantly said. Why? First off, that's where the knives are, so just pointing that out. And then girls should talk when spoken to. I'm sorry. who exactly did you get that from? And why did you get that from? It's just stupid. And there are many more things that can be said to people in general that, well, it's just not right. And today we went over why we should be teaching boys and men to be respectful to ladies, or starting from a young age, teaching them why. Then we went over the sexist dress code. By the way, those 6 things that were highlighted, those were all pointed towards females. The other 5 things on the list were for both genders. Just pointing that out. And finally, we went over the opposition. I really hope that this helped change some minds today, because as a more feminine person, I would like to be able to have an education and walk around the streets and not be scared, as well as I don't want to be taken out of my own education. So